So I previously filmed this video earlier today, and then I kind of deleted it by accident. So here I am doing it again, with worse lighting. It's just a little bit later on in the day. Actually it's like 5:54. Holy, this day went by kind of quick. So because I already did this, I just want to jump right into it. I got my box. It's all in a shoebox right now, but my box of makeup that I've already decluttered that I'm just gonna go through and just kind of talk about and explain why I'm not holding on to it anymore. Which, let's be real, for almost all of these, it's gonna be the exact same reason. Either I just don't gravitate towards it anymore, I forgot I even had it, which, it's kind of a bad thing when you have too much makeup and you forget you have certain products. Yeah. Um, or it's just not something that I'm really into anymore, or I found something better. So we're just gonna go and grab the very first product, which also, by the way, just because this is the first one technically, there are a couple brands in here that I have more than just one item of. So by saying this is the first one, I have two. So this is by Makeup Forever, and this is their 9 artist shadow palettes. So this is number 1. That's the other way around. That's number 1, and this is number 4. I'm not actually sure what the name of the palettes are, or if they say it on here anywhere, but the first one, I really liked it when I purchased it. It's all neutrals, but they're all shimmers, and this shade I really like, and this shade I really like. This one, this one, this one. These two I really like, but I don't go for an all shimmers palette ever, especially something so neutral, and I don't usually go for brown shimmers all that much. I'd rather have a palette that has a mix of neutrals, oh my goodness, of shimmers and mattes, because I just find it's easier. You don't have to use more than one palette. So this I'm giving away to a friend, mainly for that reason. And then this one, which is number 4, is neutrals as well, but it has a couple pops of color right here. Again, if you can see just by like the packaging here, this shadow I've gone into quite a bit. And I do like this one as well, but those are pretty much the main two. This is an all mattes palette, which is really nice, but I don't really want to have to go back and forth between these two just to get a half decent eye look out of it. I would like, yes, this shade right here for, to set your eye or to do under your brow bone, but I just don't think this palette is really worth saving just for keeping 3, 2, especially just one shade. So those I'm gonna pass on. This next palette, I'm actually kind of sad that I don't reach for it. It's the Pretty Smart palette by The Balm. I bought this when I was at Winners. The other two, the Makeup Forever palettes, I purchased those on Sephora's website. They were both on sale when I purchased them, and I think there's one more on there right now that's on sale. I just don't remember which one. This one I purchased at Winners, and I ended up holding off, and I bought it when it was on clearance. And I was kind of excited when I first bought it. I do like the shades in here, but I just don't ever go for it. I really like this yellow. It's like a mustardy yellow, and then the olive green right here. I absolutely love those colors. I do like these two as well, not as much as those two, but to keep a palette for a couple of shades that I like, and not only that, but for whatever reason, I just don't reach for this palette. This was one that I actually kind of forgot about, which is really sad because I only bought this like the end of summer or fall of last year, so I really haven't had this for very long, and I've always wanted to try the Balm eyeshadows, and Winners had quite a few of their palettes, so I decided to go with this one for whatever reason, and I've only reached for like 2-3 times, so I'm gonna pass that one along as well. So this one's actually not an eyeshadow palette, but it's a contour palette. It's the Tarteist Contour, and I bought this off of the Tarte's website. I got this one on sale, and even though I got it on sale, I still don't think I got my money's worth. I used this blush shade quite a bit, and I used this highlighter quite a bit, but the rest, not so much. This bronzer shade I was going towards every so often, but I just found it wasn't really my color, my shade. I find that one's a little shimmery, and I don't like shimmer bronzers. Next. These two palettes are by Milani. So this is another brand that has more than just one product. These are the Everyday Eye palettes, and this is the number 1 must-have neutrals, and this is number 3 smoky essentials. So I do have the number 2 palette, but that one I'm actually keeping. It is similar, very similar to this one. It is a neutral palette, except it's a warmer neutral where this one's cool toned. And I really like these shades, but I would only be using these 5 because I don't use black eyeshadow. So it's not a bad palette. I do like it, but the other one, because it's a warmer tone, instead of the black, they have a brown color in there, like a warmer, darker brown, which I really like. So I would much rather use that palette and use all 6 shades opposed to just using 5 out of this. So I have friends that would like that one. And then this one is the Smoky Essentials, and I don't even know why I bought this, to be completely honest, because there's only 2 shades in here that I would ever use, which are these 2, which are in that palette and other palettes that I have. These colors I don't ever reach for. I never use blue eyeshadows, so I think I just bought these just to have them all. I know I got rid of one like previously, like a while back, so I think it's time to get rid of that one. This palette I was so excited for when I bought it. I got it from Winners. It was quite a while ago. And it's the BeccaxJaclyn HIll palette. And I actually like this palette. I like the colors in this palette. And I have been able to do an eye look using all 5 shades, which is really nice. And I really like how the look had come out. This shade right here is my favorite out of the palette and the one that I've used the most. I would keep this palette just for that shade. And right now I'm kind of tempted. Do I keep this? I mean, I know I have other neutrals and I have shades that are very similar to this. Guys, help me. What do I do? I've had this in here and I was going to get rid of it. I actually just added this in recently because most of this I did about a month ago, and then between then and now I've added a few more products, and this was one of them that I just added recently. And now I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going to put this in my maybe pile. I'm changing my mind and I'm putting it in a maybe pile, and I will decide later because I don't know what to do. But before I keep dwelling on that, I'm going to move on to the next one, which I feel so bad about because I got this as a Christmas present a few years back. Well, honestly, probably more than a few years back at this point. This is the Smoked Urban Decay palette, and honestly, this was the first Urban Decay palette that I had, I believe. Because I believe the first one that I bought was their Naked 2 palette, but I got this as a Christmas gift, and I was super excited about it. And I was even more excited because it comes with the Rockstar eyeliner, and I absolutely love this shade. I would use this all the time, and this is the Rockstar eyeshadow shade. So I was kind of excited about that, but I haven't actually ever used this, and I feel so bad. But really, coming down to it, the main reason is because it's just too dark for me. And there goes my eyeliner. I would really only use these 2 shades here and this shade here. They're 3 mattes. This is half shimmer, half matte, and I don't think that holding on to this palette for any longer is going to be worth it, especially since I've never used it. It would be different if I've like dug into those shades. Like this Freestyle shade is super pretty. It's a nice shade to even use like to set the lid. But I'm not keeping a palette for 1, 2, or 3 shades. So before I look at that anymore, that's going over there. So I do have another brand here that has more than just one product, and that would be Makeup Revolution. I have these 2 right here. So this is the Freestyle Flawless palette. Oh my god. This is the Flawless palette. I bought this at Ulta, and this is the Fortune Favors the Brave. Sorry, I'm so blind right now because I'm not wearing my glasses. So this one, when I purchased it, like I've hit pan on one of the shades. So the shade right here, I've hit pan on. This one I have a pretty good dip in. I've used these shades a lot. I really did like them when I first bought this. Like I used it all the time. even some of the darker shades I never really dipped into, but I use some of them, and then some of them have just been untouched, but a lot of the lighter shades I used, and I really did like it, so that's why I wanted to go and purchase another one. So when I was looking on Ulta's website, I believe it was, I had seen that this was, I believe, a bestseller. So I started looking at it, and honestly, the reason why, like, no joke, I was intrigued by this palette for one shade and one shade only, and it's so dumb. So this shade right here, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's white and it's got a little bit of marble in it. That's why I liked it, because I wanted to see how that was going to come off, because I was young and dumb and didn't realize that the white marble shade was going to come off as white. It is a little shimmery. It's pretty on my finger, but really just, like, I was just not thinking, I guess. I don't know. There's a few shades in here that I had used that I really didn't mind. But if I was to reach for any one of these palettes, I would always end up going towards the Flawless palette. I never reached for this one, so both of these are gonna go. I do have friends that would love this makeup, whether it's colors that they like, or like the colorful palettes that I'm going through, or just the neutrals, or they just want a variety, something different that they don't have or haven't tried. They can take it. This next one, I feel like I should be a little more attached to it because it's my first palette from this brand, but I'm not, and it's probably because after having it for a little while, I realized it's just not for me. It's a little too dark for me. So it's by Morphe, and it's the 35K palette, which I believe was like their coffee palette, if that's the actual name for it. I don't remember, but for some reason coffee is coming to my mind. Maybe because I want coffee too. I don't know. Anyways, this palette, I have hit pan, actually. Where is it here? On this shade. I hit pan on that shade. I really liked it. I still do. Some of these shades are super pretty, but they're neutral brown shades that I have so many of. Like, this whole bottom row, plus these two shades, I would never touch. They are the darker or the gray bluey tone shades that I will never use. I don't like those shades. I don't say love. I used to only use cool tone shadows. I started gearing towards warm, but I thought that it just didn't look good on me at first, so that's why I never used them. But I do like both. I just feel like these ones are a little too dark, and there's a lot in here that I've never used before. And it's so tough because depotting, I've never done it before. I don't even know how to do it. I've never looked up how to do it, none of that stuff, but I've been hearing about it. And it's like going through some of these palettes, like some of these shades, that's what I want to do. I want to depot them and keep them. But then I'm like, what do I do with the rest of them? I'd rather, as hard as it is sometimes, because some of the shades I really, really like, I feel like it would just be much easier to pass on a full palette to one of my friends instead of having to go and buy those empty makeup palettes, those Z palettes, whatever you call them, just to put some shades in and not know what to do with the rest of them, because I'm not going to give my friends half empty palettes. And the other palette that I'm having a little bit of a hard time with, for the same reason, the whole depotting thing, is this one. It's by BH Cosmetics. It's the Modern Mattes 28 color eyeshadow palette, and this is the first, believe the first and only BH Cosmetics palette that I have. These two shades are my favorite. I like mixing those ones. I've done some really pretty looks with this pink shade and these two pink shades. Yeah, I know that one looks white on camera, but I promise you it's not. It's just a very light pink. That's the white. I've used some of these blues, like maybe on my lower lash line or something really cool, just like as a pop of color. But again, I don't really ever reach for this, and I've been debating about getting rid of it for a while. This is a palette that I would want to depot, but I would have a hard time trying to find colors that I want to keep and actually get rid of. Like, the pinks I would probably keep, even though I never really wear pink eyeshadow, but pink's my favorite color. Those first two that I said that I really liked, the neutral ones are the ones that I would be keeping. Some of the colored ones, but like, what do I do with the rest? I don't want to pass on half-used empty eyeshadow palettes to my friends or whoever, so I think it's just best to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I have a hard time letting them go sometimes, but It's for the best. Who is pulling into that driveway? It's like a convertible, and that truck that is... Oh, his mother. It's his mother. Okay, anyways, I was just super curious because I'm like, I think it's a Mitsubishi. I can like, my blinds are open a little bit, so I can just see like this much. And I just saw a convertible pull into the driveway. Nice car. Nice car. Okay, anyways, continuing on. I'm almost done. I just have a couple of face products and some single eyeshadows, and then I am done. So let's move and do the single eyeshadows first, because the single eyeshadows I do not use. I don't know why. I just don't ever reach for them. I find a palette is just so much easier, I guess. Even though I do like the idea of a smaller palette, I do have a few larger palettes. Like, I have the ABH, like the Soft Glam and Norvina, or like the original Norvina. Those size palettes are decent. I would like to do even smaller than that, but that's for another time and day. But I just find that gravitating towards a palette is just so much easier for me because you have the options. You can do the looks without having to constantly try and pull out single shadows all the time. So the first one I'm going to go into, it's Milani. I'm sorry. This is actually a really pretty color. It's a royal blue and it's beautiful, but I don't wear blue eyeshadow. So why did I buy this? Just because it's pretty. This is called Bella Navy. And this is going to go to my friend who likes blue eyeshadow because I have never used this. And if I haven't used it, and however many years I've had it, I ain't gonna. So stop trying to convince yourself, Jessica. This one is by NYX. Just gonna kind of show you the packaging. It's older. This is actually my second one in this shade. This is a silver and it's called Tin. I actually had, and I thought I still had it. It still had the packaging on it. I don't know what I just did with it. Like a month ago, I'm pretty sure I had it. It was like a very light pink, and I loved using that in my inner corner. Like my first one broke, like I had hit pan and I was pretty much done it, but it broke and it was crumbling, so I got rid of it and I purchased a new one because these ones were going out. So they were bringing in new stuff, so I got these on sale. And I haven't used this. I didn't even open up the other one, and now I don't know where it is. But I've never used this, and I used to like using this on my inner corner too. It was something different. I never used silver eyeshadow. I don't know. I used it the few times and then that was kind of it, and I haven't gone back to it. So that's gonna go. These two. Oh, I think I just kind of popped the bottom of this. Nope, we're still okay. So these two I feel like I have a little bit of attachment with because they were the firsts of both. So these are the Urban Decay singles. I can't really read these because I am blind at the moment and I don't want to put my glasses on because I'm stubborn. So my very first, we're going to start with this one because this was my very first Urban Decay single shadow, and it's a matte gray called Pistol, and I have never used it. Don't ask me why I've never used it. I feel so bad for not using this, but I haven't, and I know that I'm not going to. I mean, maybe once, but I really don't think I did. I think I was just scared of it because it's a matte and darker gray, and I'm not really good with dark colors on my lids, like hence why I don't ever use black eyeshadow because I don't like how it looks. So I am a little attached to them because that was my very first Urban Decay eyeshadow single. But this one, it's Diamond Dog, and this was my very first shimmer, and I love their shimmers. Like, I remember going to Shoppers and I ended up walking out with this one even though I wanted Midnight Cowboy. Yeah, I think it was just Midnight Cowboy, and then I think I also ended up purchasing Midnight Cowboy Rides again, but it's a little different. Like, the tone is different, I believe. I have that one somewhere too, I think. But anyways, this was the one, like my very first one that I walked out with that day. And it's super pretty. It's a dark brown. There's the shimmer in it, but I just feel like if I'm wearing a dark brown eyeshadow, holy, like after I swatch that on my hand, it looks gorgeous on my finger. Like you can't even tell on camera right now how pretty that looks. Like I want to rub it on my eyes. But I don't ever use dark brown eyeshadow all over my eyes, and if I do, it's usually a matte, and then I throw another shimmer color over top of it. Do I keep this? You know what? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This shadow and this Becca one, I'm gonna hold on to. This is my maybe pile. I'm gonna test these out. I don't work tomorrow and I don't work Tuesday, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it then because I don't know if I'm really gonna do my makeup the next couple of days. I go back to work on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the whole deal going forward. I'm gonna test these at least one more time each and then make up my mind because I am trying to just declutter and get rid of a lot of the stuff that I have, but I just have this like hold on these two items right now, and I don't know why because I had no problem getting rid of them earlier. But looking at this color on my finger, I'm just like, no, girl, you need to keep this. Oh, I wish you could see. I mean, if you have this, you know what it looks like. But if you don't, like, I wish you could see that on my finger right now. You can kind of, but it just doesn't even do it any justice. And, like, it's not swatching the same on my hand. So I don't know what it's going to look like on my eyes. Car left. I can just hear it. I can't see it. I'm too low on the ground for that. So I'm going to see what it looks like on my eyes. If I like it, I will keep it as long as I use it. That's the main thing. That's why this whole depotting thought, I don't know if I'll actually follow through with, because even if they are singles in another palette, am I going to use it? Because I think it's a Makeup Forever palette, and I have some ABH singles in there. I have a MAC single in there, and I have, maybe that's it. Maybe the rest are ABH, and I never reach for it, and I'm just like, and I got those, well, the MAC one I got off the website. The ABH ones I got at Winners, so I didn't even pay full price for them. And I still don't use them. And I go to Winners, and I see more there, different shades, ones that I don't have, and I want them. But I don't even use the ones that I do have. So, like, what the hell, Jessica? By the way, this tea that I'm drinking, it's by Tetley, and it's a balance tea. That's the French side. It's cool. Pita? I don't know, but it says calming. I am so blind. Calming tea with natural ingredients to calm you down when you feel overheated. Like, how cool is that? I don't feel overheated right now, though. I have teas that are, like, made for a purpose, like this. There's another one where it's like if you're feeling, like, stressed and irritated or something, like, drink it. I don't know. I have teas like that I should probably use for the intended purpose to see if they actually work, because I just drink it just to drink it. So, I mean, it would be really cool to test and see if they actually work, because, like, how cool would that be? Especially in, like, the summertime? Hello? Okay, I'm clearly getting off track here. I have 4 more items. 5 more. They're just very small face products. So we're just gonna get into that real quick, because the more I keep rambling, the longer this video is going to get, and it's already pretty long. So, anyways, oh, don't run away from me. Okay, so I have 4 face products and 1 lip product, so I'm just going to get, actually 2 lip products, sorry. Actually, oh, you know what, I just have a few more. Okay, anyways, let's get into my 2 lip products. So, I don't know who's going to be surprised and who might not be, but I'm getting rid of Miss Lolita by Kat Von D, because as beautiful as this color is, it don't work over me. It just doesn't. I've tried it a couple times and I just don't like how it looks. And I think one of my friends really likes this, so I'm going to clean it up and pass this off to her because she'll love it. And I don't really wear lip product as it is. Like, I have a little bit of lipstick on right now. I believe this one's Angel by MAC, and even then, it's like very light. It's pretty rare that it's just like lip tap and go. Like, sometimes I just feel like lipstick's like too much, but I know, wear lipstick every day, so I wear a little something. Sometimes, if I remember. It takes a lot of effort for me to remember. lip products. Anyways, moving on to the next one. It's by Bite Beauty. And I honestly don't even know what this is called or what the shade is because the writing on the bottom of this is just way too tiny. But this is a dark brown with like a purple tone to it. And looks like it's a pretty color, but it's not for me. And it's like less for me than Lolita is for me. So that's kind of saying something. I have a dark purple and like that's pretty much as dark as it's gonna get. Like I just can't pull off brown lipstick whatsoever. I've tried. I wish I could because I think sometimes some people can pull it off and it looks beautiful on them, but me, I'm just not one of those people. The next, actually, let's do this just because it's a cream. It's by Mary Kay, and I don't even know why I have this because I don't like Mary Kay. Never been into it, never been into any of those kind of things, but I have this. It's the extra emollient night cream. It's never been used. Like it's just, you can tell it's as clean can be. So I'm passing this on to somebody because I know that they'll like it and they'll use it because it's just gonna sit there with me. This one, so I was kind of interested in purchasing when I purchased this because it came in like a set. Sorry, I have hair all over my place. I don't remember what it came with though, but for some reason I purchased this shade instead of my shade. So this is the shade medium and I'm the shade light. So I don't know if maybe they didn't have the light. And I want to say it was probably on sale because now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say somebody else had the light shade. Maybe it was Sephora and it wasn't on sale, but the medium shade was on sale on Tarte's website. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to go to bed. I've been up since like 5 this morning. I don't remember what it came with, but I don't like this. It ain't my shade. So that's going away. This is just gonna go. It's not for me. It's the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Illuminate. It's the full coverage anti-aging waterproof concealer, but it's just, I'm not into the illuminating under eye concealers. Like I think I tried this once. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna squirt out a little bit just because I don't remember, to be completely honest. Come on. Like the tiniest amount. Okay. Come on, screw on. So there's right there, this little bit here. Oh yeah, that's why I don't like. Like, look at that. Okay, I get it's concealer, full coverage concealer. That's cool. It is so sticky, it's not even funny. Like, I need a makeup wipe and I don't have any right now. So we're just gonna rub this off on my hand as best as possible. Gross. Yeah, and you can see little like glitter particles in here. I don't know, maybe it's just my eyes because I'm blind, but like I see something and I don't like it. I remember I tested, like I just kind of did the same thing. And I think it's just like the original IT Cosmetics concealer or whatever. I did not like it. It's the same sticky consistency and I don't like that. Actually, I have the Tarte concealer, the creaseless concealer, and I find that's the same. I've used it once. Maybe I'll just like toss that in here as well because I'm not gonna ever use that. This is by Smashbox and I have concealer all over it now because my fingers are still covered in it. It's the step-by-step contour concealer, except it's in the color Illuminate, which means it's a highlight, not a contour. I'm just gonna swatch it on my hand. It is pretty. It is not my shade whatsoever. Like that doesn't even show you how dark it actually is. That is like orange on my hand. And I am the furthest from orange. So this is gonna go. And even if it was my color, like not only have I never used this, I just don't use sticks on my face. Like I don't. So why would I ever use this? And I'm not going to. Like the bottom of this looks a lot more like my shade than like it actually is in the stick. So I'm not gonna keep it. So all of these are gonna go into this box with everything else and it's gonna go away. Last thing, I have had this since this came out. Actually, no, I think Sephora had this on sale, so it was probably when it was like leaving when I bought it. It's the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani collab, their brow box. I've used it a few times. I'm not really into doing my brows, especially back then. I am a little more now than I was then, but honestly, it's like gel and out the door. I've used this a few times. I honestly don't know the difference between these two. They're pretty much the exact same color. I've never used the wax. Still don't use wax. So it's gotta go. It's old. I think I tried using it once and it was just like crumbly. It was gross. The only thing that I like, if I can open it, that would be really cool, Jess. Okay, come on. I've never been able to open the bottom of this box, and I don't know why, because every time I try, the top just opens, and I don't want the top. There's little like brushes and a tweezer at the bottom. Well, normally sits in there. It just fell all over the place though. Come on. Where'd you go? I can feel you. Okay. So there's two brushes. You can't see those. Two brushes right there. Oh, one's actually like fluffier than the other. I didn't realize that. And then these tweezers that still have the little plastic thing on them because I've never used them before. So I don't even know if I've ever used. I think I've used this brush. Maybe. I don't even. Yeah, I think this was the brush that I used. But anyways, I might keep these. Never used them, but I mean, I'd keep these and just get rid of the rest of this box, but then I have nowhere to keep this. So for now, I'm just going to keep them in here. And I'll decide what I'm going to do. But I'll keep this off to the side right now too. So these really two items plus this brow box, I'm going to keep off to the side. I'm going to test these at least one more time each. See how I feel about them. See if it's something that I'm actually going to like enough to want to reach for. And then decide from there. Because I need to declutter. I have a lot of makeup. And it's just stuff that I have so many of. So I think the whole depotting idea is really cool. I think it would be interesting to try and do, but I'm not going to do it. I just need to pass these along, let them go. Because sometimes I have a hard time letting things go. So before I keep on rambling, because this video is like over half an hour long already, and I'm exhausted, so I'm gonna get going. But just let me know down in the comments, is there any of these products that you guys have tried? No matter how old they are. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you agree with me getting rid of them? Do you think I should hold on to them? What do you think I should do about these two? I need help because I have taken things out of my declutter a couple of times and then I still just never use them, especially with clothes, but that's a whole nother story. I need help, guys. Let me know. Yeah, with any of these products, the lip products, the Lolita, do you like that color? Does it look good on you? Am I the only one who thinks that's like not the greatest on me and I don't like it? These Urban, well, no, I was gonna say the Urban Decay singles, but I'm keeping one. Yeah, any of this stuff. Has anybody ever tried that Urban Decay Smoke palette, or is it just me and I think it's just too dark, so I've never used it before? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna clean all this up. I'm gonna pack it away and get it ready to be sent off. And yeah, that's it. I gotta go because I'm just gonna keep rambling. Okay, I will see you guys all later. Have a good night, day, weekend, wherever you guys are. I will see you later. Bye.